You speak in my heart and say, seek my face, it says in today's psalm. Your face, Lord, will I seek. In other words, the writer of the psalm wants to see the face of God. Whoever wrote this psalm was a brave man or brave woman, because as God tells Moses in Exodus 33:20, no one can see my face and live. And yet, this is exactly what the psalmist wants. It sounds crazy, but I think I understand why the person who wrote this would want it, why he or she would want to see God's face despite the risks. I think I may have already told you the story about how when I was 2 years old, I began to tell my parents that I wanted to see God. It's true. I don't remember any of this, by the way, but I heard my mother tell the story many times. According to her, when I was just a little guy, I started refusing to go to sleep at night. I would just sit there in my bed with my arms crossed in determination and say over and over again, I'm not going to sleep until you show me God. I'm not going to sleep until you show me God. My mother would try everything, but nothing could make me stop. In the end, she'd just turn off the lights and leave me sitting there, only to check on me an hour later and find me still at it, still sitting up wide awake. Seeing the door open a crack, I'd start the chant all over again. I'm not going to sleep until you show me God. I'm not going to sleep until you show me God. As my mother put it, I was quite a handful in those days. She was convinced that I was not quite like other kids, and not in a good way either. It was over 40 years later that she told me this, though. I suspect that the reason she told me was that she still thought I wasn't quite like most others. And she must have been right, because, like the psalmist, I still want to see the face of God. Is that really so strange? How about the rest of you? Wouldn't you jump at the chance too? The chance to just get a glimpse of God? It wouldn't need to be it would only need to be the tiniest peek. Just a quick peep. The briefest vision. Don't you think that this would be absolutely amazing? I'm not alone in this, am I? I'm sure there must be others. There have to be. This must be true, because just look at how everyone responds to Jesus. Because isn't that what Jesus is? Isn't Jesus the face of God? That's what the people who saw him, when they looked at him, at least, they looked at him and realized that they were getting a glimpse of God. And seeing this, it changed them. Just look at today's gospel. Jesus walks up to the edge of the water near where two fishermen, Peter and his brother Andrew, are busy tossing in their nets and hauling out fish, and simply says to them, follow me, and I will make you fish for people. And what do? They immediately throw down their nets and come to shore and follow him. They don't even hesitate. Just like that, they toss away their entire old lives and go after him. They abandoned it all, not just what they were doing right then, but everything. Their boat, their work, their very capacity to earn a living, everything that they had both known and done until then. They gave it all up. And why? Because they had seen the face of God. Then, soon afterwards, it happens again, this time with two other brothers, James and John. They leave everything too, abandoning all to their father, and they go off after Jesus also. That's what seeing the face of God does to us. The thing is, at its very core of Jesus's teaching is this, that Jesus is not alone in carrying the face of God. We carry it too. He made that clear. We carry it too, if only we can see it, if only we allow it. We just have to recognize that bit of God which God planted in each of us at our birth and draw it out and make that visible. When we are able to do that, people notice. This is what Jesus meant when he told Peter and Andrew that he would make them fishers of people. We must be, for each person we meet, what Jesus had been for those fishermen. We must show them the face of God. The thing is, it won't really be done with our words. That's not how we'll do this. It will be done with our actions. Those actions will either show Jesus in us or they won't. It'll be all according to what we do. Does it make you uncomfortable to think that you yourself might carry the face of God, the face of Jesus? And yet you do. All of you, each and every one of you. I mean, I know you all. I love you all. And all of you show me the face of God. Show me the face of God, I said when I was 2 years old. I won't go to sleep until you do. I had to wait many decades, but now it's happened. I have seen the face of God, and it's just as amazing as I knew it would be. I've seen it in each and every one of you. Now I can rest. Amen.